TV soap news and spoilers. Will Chad eventually uncover the truth and expose Marin as the imposter she is, or will the web of lies continue to entangle him? As the story unfolds on Days of Our Lives, fans are gripped by the deception, manipulation, and emotional turmoil that surrounds Chad and his belief that his beloved wife, Abigail, has returned from the dead. But as viewers know, things are not what they seem, and Chad may be closer to discovering the shocking truth than we think. Let's delve deeper into this twisted tale of love, lies, and desperation. The saga begins with one of the most deceitful acts imaginable, a falsified DNA test. Mark, desperate to protect his family, went to extreme lengths by forging DNA evidence to convince Chad that Marin was in fact his supposedly deceased wife, Abigail Devereaux. The lie is elaborate, calculated, and meant to be foolproof. To the outside world, and to Chad, the DNA test proves that the woman standing before him is none other than his long-lost love. But Chad, though emotionally vulnerable, isn't completely convinced. His suspicions linger just beneath the surface. Something doesn't quite add up. Could it really be Abigail, back from the dead? Or is his heart clouding his judgment? Chad's hesitation and doubt are real, but Marin, under Mark's guidance, has been quick with her lies, weaving together a tapestry of false memories that pull at Chad's heartstrings. She knows just what to say to manipulate him into believing that she is the woman he lost. Every tear, every shared memory is part of the act, a carefully constructed lie that keeps Chad questioning his instincts. While Chad wrestles with his doubts, what he doesn't know is the dire situation behind the scenes. Marin and Mark aren't manipulating Chad out of greed or personal gain. Their motivations are darker and more desperate. Clyde, a ruthless and dangerous man, holds the life of their mother in his hands. Clyde's threat is clear. If they don't follow through with the plan, their mother will suffer. And so, they lie. They lie to protect her, believing they have no other choice. For Mark and Marin, this isn't about fooling Chad for fun. It's about survival. They have been forced into this position, their hands tied by the fear of losing the only family they have left. Clyde's shadow looms large over every decision they make. Marin, playing the role of Abigail, does so not out of malice but out of love and obligation to her mother. But as their deception deepens, the moral weight of their actions begins to press down on them. How long can they continue this charade? And what will happen when the truth inevitably comes out? The next phase of their plan is about to take a dramatic turn. As part of Clyde's cruel strategy, Marin, pretending to be Abigail, is set to propose to Chad. The idea is to bind Chad to her emotionally and legally. After all, a proposal from Abigail would be the ultimate proof of her love and identity. Chad, despite his lingering doubts, is still deeply attached to the woman he believes to be his wife. Clyde's plan is banking on Chad's emotional vulnerability, hoping that this proposal will seal the deal and erase any remaining suspicions Chad has. But behind the scenes, the stakes couldn't be higher. Clyde is watching closely, making it clear that if Marin doesn't go through with this proposal, things will take a turn for the worse. The clock is ticking, and Marin knows that if she fails, it's not just her cover that will be blown, it's her mother's life on the line. The pressure is unbearable, and the weight of the lie threatens to crush her. Marin is torn between her growing guilt over deceiving Chad and the terror of what Clyde will do if she doesn't follow through. Will Chad accept the proposal? For now, it seems likely. But beneath his willingness to believe, Chad's mind is racing with questions. The inconsistencies in Marin's story, the strange feeling in his gut, it's all starting to add up. As Marin prepares to propose, something shifts in Chad's mind. He begins to piece together the small discrepancies that have been nagging at him since her return. The woman before him may look like Abigail, but something about her is off. She talks about memories that don't quite fit. She hesitates in ways Abigail never would. And as much as Chad wants to believe, his instincts are telling him something is wrong. This inner conflict reaches a breaking point as Chad starts to investigate on his own. Slowly but surely, he begins to see through the facade. Perhaps it's a slip-up in one of Marin's stories, or maybe it's a conversation with someone who knew Abigail well. Whatever the trigger, Chad's realization is inevitable. He confronts the growing suspicion that the woman he's been trying to accept as his wife is nothing more than an imposter. The heartbreak is palpable. Chad, who has been through so much, is devastated by the realization that he has been lied to, manipulated by people he once trusted. But more than that, he feels the loss of Abigail all over again. The emotional toll of this revelation will be staggering for Chad, and fans will be on the edge of their seats waiting to see how he handles the truth. So, what happens next? Once Chad realizes that Marin is not Abigail, the fallout will be immense. Chad isn't the type to let a lie fester, especially not one of this magnitude. But confronting Marin and Mark will be no easy feat. After all, they are desperate people, acting out of love for their mother and fear of Clyde's retribution. Exposing the lie could put their mother in grave danger. But Chad's love for Abigail and his sense of justice will drive him to uncover the truth. He will demand answers, and when those answers come, they will be explosive. Marin and Mark's entire scheme will come crashing down, and Clyde's grip on their lives may be exposed as well. But even if Chad brings the truth to light, what will happen next? Will he be able to forgive Marin and Mark for their deception, or will he seek revenge for the pain they've caused? Our TV channel Soap News and Spoilers is the place for those who want to know how the Salem story goes, as well as great Days of Our Lives updates and news. So subscribe to our channel to get what you want. Bye-bye.